Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to SportsTimeHQ. I am your host, Fernando. Joining me today is, in fact, my great co-host, Gary. Gary, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. We little behind schedule, hour behind schedule, but hey, we're here. We're here to answer some questions, talk about some things for Sunday's kickoff. So let us know.
Yeah, let us know. This is, of course, the starts and sits that we are going to be talking about in today's show. But we got the injury report that we're going to be talking about, some news, recapping Thursday Night Football, and then, of course, answering some of your questions. Let's first get into some news and notes from around the league. Tyler Smith, guard for the Dallas Cowboys, he is signing an extension worth 4 years, $96 million. I mean, they couldn't pay Micah Parsons, but hey, at least they are somewhat protecting Dak Prescott, right?
Yeah, well, that's big because last year or recently lost Tyron Smith and Zach Martin just have retired in the offseason. So that was a big kind of question mark for them was their offensive line, which they've always been, pretty good at being able to produce. This is a huge extension for them. So Dallas doing something right.
Yeah, the one thing they can do right anyways, maybe. The Patriots, they are trading the 2024 second-round pick Jalen Polk and a 2028 seventh-round pick for the Saints' 2027 sixth-round pick.
Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I never thought Polk should have been drafted in the second round, nor should he have gone to the Patriots, nor should he have done anything. He's literally on season-ending IR. Polk is ridiculous. Patriots are ridiculous for drafting him. And we were just a lad McConkey away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. But, I mean, it happens sometimes like this, but it's funny to see. I mean, obviously this is the most recent thing that I can think of, but crazy that second rounder is being traded for a sixth rounder. I mean, it's just crazy to think about, but I don't
in just 1 year. In just 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on here? Like,
I don't know.
But do you have any other news notes that you kind of saw or?
I mean, not really, I guess. No, I saw some things come in, but not really worth mentioning. A lot of injury stuff I saw coming in, so we'll just talk about that at that point.
Yeah, I did see some injuries, so we'll go right into the injury report. First off, Brock Purdy. He's dealing with a turf toe, and he is expected to miss 2 to 5 weeks. I know some people who drafted Brock Purdy in a couple leagues because, Brock Purdy does produce in fantasy, but this is a big blow to those fantasy managers. The next guy in line for the 49ers is Mac Jones. So unless you're in like a 15, 16, 20 team league, Mac Jones should probably stay on the waivers.
Yeah, and I mean, just a little thing to throw out today. They're playing the Saints, and Saints are still the underdog, I believe. And honestly, they could win. I mean, we're talking about Mac Jones here against the Saints. But yeah. So if we're talking about Brock Purdy, I mean, that's kind of a big blow for fantasy. I have him in fantasy. I just went out and got Aaron Rodgers. Luckily, he was on the waiver wire. Looked like himself last week. So who knows? Maybe he can come back to life. But yeah, I don't really expect anybody to go out and get Mac Jones for 2 to 5 weeks. I would hope not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this is something that could linger all year, which I hate because, as a fantasy manager, you never want a player on your team having lingering injuries. And I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't end up being that. But turf toe, it's definitely possible.
Well, let's just also know that it is the 49ers. And they're somehow always injured. Always injured. Injury factory, indeed. Indeed. You mentioned Aaron Rodgers is a good pickup. Some other available guys is Daniel Jones, if you're really needing a guy deep. Justin Fields, he is now over 70% owned. We mentioned him last week.
Penix might still be out there.
Yeah, Penix should still be out there. I believe he still is. He's only 42.6% owned.
Yeah, so he's still out there.
Joe Flacco, he's not going to give you any mobility, but he'll get you some stuff. Geno Smith, another guy to watch out for. He had 18 points last week. And Darnold did have a little dud. I'm expecting him to bounce back. But I must say, I don't know if you saw the week 1 quarterback stats, but there was like a lot of them who scored 19, 20 plus points. Like if you scored probably 19 to 20 points, you're probably still just outside the top 10.
Yeah.
For quarterbacks.
Yeah, I saw Aaron Rodgers, because I picked up Aaron Rodgers, and I saw he had like a 25-point week or whatever it was, and he was only quarterback like 9 or 10 on the week, and I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
It's actually crazy to see the stats on this week for quarterback. It should hopefully adjust. Let's go into running backs. This running back isn't so much on the injury report, but he is going to be playing his first ever NFL game. And that's Quinton Judkins. He's being activated. They did note that snaps will be closely monitored. He's expected to have more of a backup role this week. So again, if you have Dylan Sampson, I'm fine starting Dylan Sampson in a couple of my leagues. I have him. I'm starting him in like 2 leagues that I really need a running back for. I think after this week, maybe it's going to be a little concerning whether or not Judkins and Sampson will split the backfield, or if they're just going to give the ball off to Judkins, who was a second-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, to go off what your first point was, I totally agree with you. I'm honestly debating starting Dylan Sampson over Pickens in my flex, which is crazy because Pickens is one of my guys coming into this season, but last week I did not like what I saw. Sampson, it was the opposite. I loved what I saw from him, at least in the passing game. The running game is an issue, and it has been for the past couple of years, so I don't know if that's going to get any better. But I really like what I see in the passing game for Sampson. I also don't have a problem starting him at your flex or even RB2 if you so desperately need so today. I don't think Judkins is going to be really much of a factor at all. I saw that they're probably at most going to have him like 20 snaps. So that's not 20 touches. That's 20 snaps. So I don't think he's really going to be much of a factor today. But I agree. Going forward, it could cut into Dylan Sampson's time. But, however, I really do see them using an RB duo here. I don't think Jerome Ford's going to get any action once Judkins is like
so sad.
Fully back. It's not sad at all because he's not a good player.
I like Jerome Ford. I picked him up.
The Cleveland fan base is finally turning on Jerome Ford. And how long have I been saying he's just so bad? I've been seeing a lot of Cleveland Browns fans comments saying that, we're done with Jerome Ford. He sucks. And I'm so happy that everybody's starting to come around because I've been noticing this for a while now. So I'm excited for this RB duo to hopefully explode.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Judkins has to offer, but again, he is on the Browns.
Might have to wait another week to see that, but yes. You're also
he is on the Browns. He's on the Browns. Don't forget that. Let's go into our last running back on the injury report, and he actually is going to be out for the rest of the season, and that is unfortunately Austin Eckler, who is the thumbnail of this video. He's got a torn Achilles. He tore his Achilles on Thursday Night Football. It was a non-contact. You saw it. You hated to see it because there was only 4 minutes left. But something to note is Ja'Cory, Krosky, Merritt, and Chris Rodriguez are really the only ones on the depth chart for the running backs. So they are definitely missing Brian Robinson right now.
Yeah, JCM owners just get so lucky, I guess, with this because
literally.
All I was hearing is this guy is the waiver wire out of the year, and everybody should get this guy, this guy, this guy. I mean, yeah, he had the touchdown last week, but, I mean, it just didn't look like he was that much involved against the Packers on Thursday. And, I mean, let's be honest, guys. He's a 7th-round pick. Like, it's obviously going to get he's obviously going to need time to like actually turn into something if he is going to turn into something. However, that may not be the case anymore, considering the fact that he has Chris Rodriguez as his competition in the RB room. So I guess now he's going to turn into some superstar, and I doubt he's on any waiver wires. But if he magically is, then I would pick him up.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Ja'Cory Cross-Kamara, I also has been trying to trade for. I tried getting him in my waivers when he first came out. I tried drafting him in Drury drafts, but he was just being overdrafted every single time.
Way overdrafted.
Whenever I was trying to get him, it was just overdrafted. I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He had an okay week 1. He had 14 points. It was because of that one touchdown. You take that touchdown away, he only had 8 points. This past week, Austin Eckler, he did go get hurt at the very end of the game. But Ja'Cory only had 1.7 fantasy points. That's all he got you. And these past 2 games were probably the easiest for the Commanders in the run game defense that they were facing. After that, now it's going to be the Raiders, the Falcons, the Chargers, who's going to be tough, and then they kind of get back into some worser defenses in Chicago and Dallas. But for the next 3 games, it doesn't get easier. I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and traded for a running back, whether it's maybe like just a kind of filler depth role, a guy that we've seen do good in the past. I tell you, I know the Patriots, they have Ramondre as a backup, but they also have Antonio Gibson, if I do believe. So, yeah, he knows the system. So I wouldn't be surprised. I do like Antonio Gibson. We've seen him be a starter before. We've seen him do really good in fantasy before. It'd be nice to see him go there. Maybe he's a good one to watch out for. But, yeah, I think Ja'Cory hasn't impressed all that much. And if you're wanting to sell him high, sell him before this upcoming week, because it could be the highest you're going to have him, because after this it might dip down.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. If you have him and people are willing to just absolutely overpay, then get rid of him, because he's going to have some good weeks. I mean, he's just bound to. He's the only running back in the room. So if they don't make a move for anybody, then he's going to get 80% of the workload. But it's like, at the same time, as of right now, I just don't see what other people are seeing. I think he's going to need some time. Again, yeah, maybe because he didn't play last year is the reason why he dipped in the draft. But he was a 7th round pick. He almost went undrafted. He was like 14 picks and still going on undrafted. Like, I don't know why everybody just expected him to explode onto the scene. He had that touchdown last week, but yeah, as you mentioned, like, without that, he would be irrelevant so far this year.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I want to see what happens next week, if they're going to trade for someone or not.
Yeah.
Let's go into the wide receivers. We have 3 wide receivers to talk about. All 3 having some serious type of injuries. Xavier Worthy. I've mentioned in fantasy that he wasn't worthy of a roster spot. And in one of my leagues, I auto-drafted Worthy in one of my leagues, and I'm paying the price now. I tried to trade him. Just nobody would want him. So, but Xavier Worthy, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. He has a slim chance against the Eagles this week. Next on the depth chart, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith. Don't forget, Tyquan Thornton. Got a lot of deep balls.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, out of all these, if you're looking to start a guy from the Kansas City offense, if it's not Travis Kelce, it's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown had a lot of targets, a lot of deep threats, and he's a guy that could probably produce and give you a solid 10 points easily. I'm expecting more like a 13 to 16 point game for him, but definitely double digits for Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, he got 16 targets last week or something like that, which is absolutely mind-boggling. I just can't believe how uninvolved Travis Kelce is now, like, in that offense. But I guess at some point they just fade out. But it's official now that Xavier Worthy is out for today against the Eagles, so he's not playing. Yeah, it was just made official. So he's out. So Hollywood Brown is now the one there in that offense, and I would not even think about starting anybody else in that wide receiver room. So I'll just leave that at that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned him as my waiver wire pick of the week, right?
Hollywood
Was it
Brown,
me?
I
Yeah,
think it was you. Yeah,
yeah. I know he was mentioned. I know
yeah, he
I
was.
didn't know if it was me or you that mentioned, but I thought I did. But yeah. Um, Also, another wide receiver is Jawan Jennings. Gary, what did you call the 49ers again?
Injury factory.
Yes, the injury factory is back on the waiver on the report.
Yeah.
He's dealing also with a shoulder injury. He is supposed to have a game time decision. Ricky Pearsall, Sky Moore, MVS are the next ones on the depth chart. Um, Sky Moore, no, don't start him unless somehow you're in a deep league and you need
32
to.
man.
Yeah, 32 man. He shouldn't be starting at all.
Yeah.
MVS is a good deep threat option. But again, Mac Jones is throwing the ball. Don't be so hyped on MVS to get you a deep throw from Mac Jones. Ricky Pearsall might be the only guy. George Kittle's dealing with that injury. I mean, Ricky Pearsall may be the only guy, but Christian McCaffrey is going to get most of the workload this whole game.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's his name? Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is gonna probably have like 30 plus points because if the Niners want to at all win this game, then it's gonna have to be through him. Ricky Pearsall, in terms of pass catchers, obviously is the only guy worth noting. I wouldn't again even think about starting any of the other guys behind him again unless you're in a 32 man league. Ricky Pearsall had a ton of targets last week, but of course he had like 8 targets last week, but he had a solid game. He had like 100 yards last week against the Seahawks, but that was with Brock Purdy, of course. So, unfortunately, with Mac Jones, his stock takes a little bit of a hit. But if you were still confident in him, then, by all means, throw him in at your flex if you don't have a better option. And hopefully, he can give you like 4 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown because I don't think he's going to give you much more than that. But I could be wrong. Maybe Mac Jones comes back to rookie Mac Jones where he was actually pretty solid.
I wouldn't.
Rookie Mac Jones wasn't solid. I don't know. He made the Pro Bowl.
You think it was okay? Pro Bowl, does Pro Bowl even mean anything these days?
I
Let's
know.
be
No,
real.
but they went to the playoffs, so I mean,
yeah, they went to the playoffs and got humiliated by the Bills.
You had to expect that, though.
I mean, I expected it, but I didn't expect it that way. It was. I knew that the Bills were winning that game, but I didn't. I would have hoped it would have been like a closer game. It's a division rival.
No, I get it.
Expect such a lopsided affair.
I get it.
More on the wide receivers. Jaden Reed broken collarbone on Thursday Night Football. He used to miss 6 to 8 weeks. So Romeo Dobbs season, ladies and gentlemen. Romeo Dobbs, Tucker Kraft. Shout out to former co-host Keith. He drafted Tucker Kraft in our listener league, and he's enjoying it.
Yeah. No, that was kind of a good thing to see because I'll be honest, me personally, I've really been on the edge about Tucker Kraft. I'm like, yeah, he's probably a top 10 fantasy tight end, but like, can he be there consistently? Because that's the thing about tight ends is like, you have your top 5, 6 that are like, well, I wouldn't even say that. You have your like top 3 or 4. It's gonna be really, really, really consistent. And then like, after that there's a tier break, and then after that there's another like big tier break. So I'm like thinking to myself this offseason, like Tucker Kraft was a guy that was popping up in my draft range a lot. I didn't take him in any league, but I'm thinking to myself, if this guy can, be a little bit more consistent, then I have no problem in like even possibly trading for him, or next year, like he'll be one of my tight ends that I go for. So far, he's looked good, and I'm happy with what I've seen from him. So it's good that he's exploding onto the scene. But yeah, in terms of Jaden Reed, just an unfortunate injury. Went down after catching that pass, and so he's gonna miss some time. I would say it's big for Romeo Dobbs. People are gonna think it's big for Matthew Golden, but again, another guy that I said was not going to have a big, big key factor in this offense, and he just hasn't so far. Granted, we're only through 2 weeks. He's a rookie, so I'll give him time. But he's had like what? I want to say he's had like under 5. He's like 5 or under targets in 2 games, maybe.
It's just been brutal.
So I don't know.
Golden needs to, if he wants to be that top receiver, he needs to change his ways.
Yeah, he's had 4 targets in 2 games.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
Crazy.
But he is a rookie. Give him some time.
Yeah, no, I'll give him some time.
Give him some time to adjust the offense. Let's go into the tight ends. Brock Bowers, he's dealing with a knee injury. Rumors has it he is expected to play against the Chargers, but don't expect all too much, especially because this is the Raiders' number 1 piece on their offense. So, I mean, the only way is he's going to be limited probably on snaps, but he'll still get you some fantasy production. It won't be that much, though.
Yeah, I think it was either – I think Ian Rappaport actually just confirmed it about an hour ago that he's expected to start. So go in with the week, thinking that you don't have to play a tight end that's playing today in exchange for Bowers who's playing tomorrow. Bowers should be playing tomorrow, so start him. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that, like, don't expect anything because it's Brock Bowers, and I feel like this guy, whenever he plays, is going to have, like, 7+ targets a game, like, at the worst, I feel like. But if he doesn't have that big of a role, then what does that mean for Ashton Jeanty? I mean, could be, like, the breakout game now. Again, it's only week 2, so I don't want to act like or talk like we're, halfway through the season. But this could be the game that maybe Jeanty needs to just absolutely go berserk going forward in the season. But we'll see. I wouldn't have any questions with starting Brock Bowers. I think he's going to give you something no matter what.
Yeah, I think he will. It just depends on also how much are they willing to play him in the whole game.
Yeah.
The 49ers are back on the report. George Kittle kind of briefed on the receivers already with Jawan Jennings. Of course, on the quarterback, surprised Christian McCaffrey isn't on this report either. But George Kittle, he is dealing with a hamstring injury. He did land on IR, and he's set to miss a minimum of 4 weeks. And, yeah, I mean, just more injuries on top of injuries for this team.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously it's unfortunate for the team, we've been saying they're the injury factory. But as I was mentioning, you have like a top 3, maybe 4 tight ends, upper echelon that you kind of expect to give you 10+ points a week. Kittle's one of them. So, that significantly decreases the upper echelon. And, it sucks as a Kittle owner. I'm not one, but I know how it feels scavenging that tight end waiver wire for anybody. Obviously, Harold Fannin is the guy that I mentioned last week. I forgot who the guy that you mentioned was. Zach Ertz, I believe.
Zach Ertz. Of course, my guy.
Probably still out there, but he already played, so that's kind of a big deal. But, going forward, if you want to pick up Zach Ertz, that's, a pretty good pickup. But other guys out there you think about? I mean, Fannin, Ertz,
Jawan Johnson,
yes. Jonathan Smith might be out there still for a couple teams or for a couple leagues.
Wouldn't be a bad shout to go snag him.
But, there are definitely some guys out there just due to the fact that we're still early into the season. So take advantage of that while you can. Jonathan Smith is only 56% rostered, so he's probably out there for it.
He might be on our waiver wire show.
Yeah, maybe.
Could make it.
Yeah,
he has a good week.
He has a good week.
Gary, you got any more injury players for fantasy that we're watching out for this week? Before we get into some other.
Not that I know.
I didn't think there was any more news that we saw come out.
I'm just looking at all my teams and like seeing who's on the waiver wire, and so far it's everybody that we mentioned. To be honest with you, so
okay. Before we get into the start-sit questions from the people that mentioned it and want to know whether or not they're starting or sitting these players. Let's just quickly have a Thursday Night Football recap because
Oh yeah, let's do it.
As much as I don't want to, but it's a segment I decided to have, and I guess we have to talk about it. Thursday Night Football predictions did not go the way I wanted it, but it went the way Gary wanted. Washington against Green Bay. Of course, if you watched that game, you may have seen Green Bay win it 27-18. Not only that, but they did hit the under on the spread of 48.5. So Gary was not only right on Green Bay, but also right on the under. Mind you, the final score was 27-18. Gary's prediction was 27-20.
So close.
So close, yet so far. So that moves Gary's record to 4-0 on the season, moves mine to 500 at 2-2. What are we looking out for next Thursday Night Football? Well, that is the Bills and Dolphins AFC East showdown. Not going to make our predictions just yet, but I think we might have
some ideas on what we're going to do, at least for the money line.
Yeah, money line definitely. Cowboys Giant. I'm just going to quickly go through today's lineup because why not? Cowboys Giants going to be a interesting one, but I think we'd probably lean on the Cowboys, but watch out for Russell Wilson. He needs to have a bounce back. Steelers Seahawks. That's going to be actually a good game to watch.
I'm picking the Steelers. I think.
If it's the way we saw them last week, I would also go with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Titans Rams. This one slam dunk on the Rams.
Yep.
Jets Bills. I think the Jets are going to put up a good fight, but I think they're going to lean.
I think they're going to put up a good fight in like the first half and maybe even first 3 quarters. But I'm going to say the Bills end up winning by 10. But I think it'll be like a 30-20 game. I can see the Jets putting up a good amount of points and keeping it close for a majority of the game. But I think just at the end of the day, Josh Allen's going to, go off.
Be Josh Allen.
Right.
The other side of the AFC East, Dolphins, Patriots. I'd hope the Patriots win this, but if they don't win it, I mean, there's no hope for the Patriots.
I want to pick the Patriots to win it, but it's like, when's the last time they won in Miami? So, guess I'm going with the Fins.
All right. Bengals, Jaguars. Give me the Bengals on this one.
You have to hope, right? Like, I'm gonna go the Bengals, but they did not look good last week against my Browns, and I want to give credit to my defense because they looked great, but at the same time, Joe Burrow just looked horrible. I mean, he had 113 passing yards. They had 7 yards in the second half. How we lost, I have no idea. I don't want to get into that. But 7 yards in the second half, as a fantasy manager of any player on that offense, that is, a nightmare. So I'm going to go with the Bengals, but I really could see a world in which Jaguars win. It would not surprise me at all.
No, it wouldn't. Also, news just came out 2 minutes ago that I'll mention in 2 games that we're about to talk about. But Saints 49ers, give me easily the 49ers. Maybe not easily, just
don't forget.
They're a better team. They're a better team. I don't care about Mac Attack. They have CMC. If CMC goes down, the 49ers are doomed. And, that's it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm expecting a close game. Like a very
I could picture like a
very good, very close game.
17-14, like a very low scoring affair.
I could see the Saints winning. And I'm not going to go with them, but I want to so bad because that would kind of be funny. But I think that's actually going to be a pretty solid game.
Maybe I might actually, because I still have to do my weekly predictions that I'm going to be posting after this video. Mm-hmm. I could actually switch it up and pick the Saints and have them be my upset of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad pick. I mean, they were that Purdy and Kittle and everybody else under the sun.
True. It is a boring upset of the week, but Ravens and Browns. News just came out that Quinton Judkins is expected to have 10 to 15 snaps today. Yeah. Not touches, snaps.
Right, exactly. Get that. So, I saw at most 20, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Give me the Ravens. Sorry.
Yeah, give me the Ravens. I mean, I'm expecting to get blown out. The thing with us is we either get blown out by the Ravens or we beat the Ravens. So I'm expecting us to get blown out. So I'm going to go with blown out.
I think it's going to be a little closer than you think.
I don't know.
Could be
like I
like
said,
a
the past
30, 20.
the past
30.
4 or 5 outcomes have been like we either get blown out by 3 scores or we somehow manage to win like an absolute dogfight, like 33-31.
Yeah.
Which makes absolutely no sense because in the last couple of years, 2023, but this year and last year and 2022, we shouldn't have even come close to beating them. So
you got lucky. No?
Yeah, I guess so.
The last game for the 1:00 games, Lions Bears. Gary, I just want to hear your take on this one.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Lions, and I think a lot of people are going with the Bears. Just based off of like the potential that they saw in Caleb in the offense, and also how bad the Lions looked against the Packers. I get it, like why a lot of people are picking the Bears, but this is way too close of odds for me. Like I don't remember what the spread is off the top of my head, but I think it's like 3.5, maybe. Like it's close. So I'm gonna go with the Lions. That's a little too close for me.
I just want you to know I saw this stat the other day, and I thought it was something that we needed to bring up. Jared Goff under the offense of Sean McVay and Ben Johnson is phenomenal, but without Sean McVay, without Ben Johnson, Jared Goff is 0-19-1.
Wow,
games.
That's crazy.
He has not been able to win a game without Ben Johnson or Sean McVay.
That's really crazy.
I will be taking Jared Goff in the Lions this week, but I thought this was a stat to mention because it is a key stat because we think Jared Goff is really good, but you look at that stat, it's not so good. And if he loses this week, we're going to have a lot of question marks under the Lions and whether or not their window for any type of Super Bowl playoff could be out the door.
Yeah, I was actually wrong. Spread 6.5, but I see a lot of people picking the Bears as an upset team this week. So, but I'm gonna stick with the Lions again. I see why people may think that, but Lions home opener. I'm just gonna go with the better team.
Yeah. The 4:00 games, only 3 of them. Denver. It's the Broncos at the Colts. The Colts did play pretty good. The spread is only 1.5 on Denver. But I'm going to take the Broncos still.
I'm going to take the Broncos too. I think, a lot of people are kind of expecting this to be a really, really tight game. I'm going to say the Broncos win by 10 points.
Okay. Carolina, Arizona. Carolina was my upset team of the week last week. But it's not going to be this week. Give me Arizona.
I'll take the Panthers. I think
really.
I think at the very least they're gonna put up a really good fight. So okay. I have the Panthers covering the spread today at the very least. So I really think they're gonna, give the Cardinals a run for their money today.
Okay. This one's gonna be a great game to watch. 4 p.m. slated game. Not sure why it's not Thursday night football game, or Sunday night football game.
Yeah.
Super Bowl rematch. Eagles, yep. Kansas City. Eagles are favored by 1.5. That's the line. Give me the Eagles.
Where is this? Kansas City, I assume.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Eagles, but we already know this is going to be such a good game to watch. And listening to those other 2 4:00 games, this is the only game that anybody's going to put on their TV. So.
It will be on my TV.
Yeah.
At 5:25 in the morning for me.
That's so rough. That is so rough.
My goodness. We go on to Sunday Night Football. Atlanta, Minnesota. Minnesota's got the 3.5 spread. J.J. McCarthy believers, be there, be strong, and see him ball out again on a nightly football television around you. I give Minnesota.
I'll go with the Falcons.
Oh my God! Of course you are. Of course you are.
That's it. That's all I'll say.
Monday Night Football. We have 2 games.
Yeah. It's always nice.
We have a 7 p.m. game and a 10 p.m. game. Tampa Bay at the Houston Texans. Let me just say that the Houston Texans are in favor on the line of 2.5.
Yeah, kind of crazy, but home opener. So I guess I can understand it, but I'm gonna take the Buccaneers, and I know a lot of people
I'm also.
are taking the Buccaneers, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But I as much as I love Stroud, the Texans just aren't good. I don't know. They kind of just like really fell off.
Yeah. Hopefully they have a bounce back though. At least closer game.
I'd love to see it. Like I want him to be good again, and you know.
Breaking news: Jawan Jennings is officially active today.
Okay.
So they need something. They get something. Chargers, Raiders, AFC West showdown. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Chargers. Everybody's actually a lot of people are picking the Raiders to upset them. I don't know why.
Probably because the Raiders are at home.
Maybe, but I guess because of what they saw against the Patriots last week. But
God, yeah, face the Patriots. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right, let's get into the most important part. It is the fan mailbag. It is the starts and sit questions. What do we have? Where should I go first? Let me go on Twitter first. Mr. Nice Guy. I think he's talked on here before. Which 2 wide receivers should I start? Keon Coleman, Calvin Ridley, Jamison Williams, Calvin Austin, or Demario Douglas?
I'm gonna say Ridley and JMO.
Really, I'm gonna actually go Keon Coleman and JMO. I think Keon Coleman has actually looked a lot better than, and I'm not a Keon Coleman fan, but I think he's looked a lot better. So give me Keon Coleman and JMO. I think Jamison Williams, he had an okay week last week, but I think he's gonna have more of a bounce back this week. And against with the rival, it should be a close game, but I think they're going to still keep on passing.
Okay.
Let me go over to Snapchat. I had a Snapchat text. Yeah, I had a Snapchat text, and I can't even find the text. There we go. All right, so we got Samson, Hollywood Brown, Kayshon Boutte, and Harold Fannin.
This is start 1?
Yep, start 1 in the flex.
I would say Samson pretty easily.
I would actually go with Hollywood Brown.
Okay. I actually didn't hear that name. Okay.
Samson would be the number 2 option, but I think Hollywood Brown has to be a start.
I don't hate it. It's just the Eagles' defense is so good. I mean,
you're right.
Okay, I'm like 50-50 on it. I'll just say Samson because that's what I initially said. So.
Okay. All right. Let's go over to Facebook. Chad's saying Devonta Smith or J.K. Dobbins the flex.
I'll be honest. I am benching Devonta Smith this week.
Yeah, I'm also as well. Give me J.K.
Leagues, so I'll go with Dobbins.
Yeah. Ricky Pearsall or Jerry Jeudy. We know Jawan Jennings is starting, but again, Mac Jones is the quarterback, so give me Jerry Jeudy. I'm a big Jerry Jeudy fan. Or Joe Flacco.
I'll go with Jeudy, but I'm not happy about it, to be honest with you. I don't like all this trash talk that the team's been doing. So, but Jair Alexander is inactive. What do you think? That's a plus or a minus for the Ravens in what it means for Jerry Jeudy? That's just something I want to throw out.
That's true. Let's see. Travis Etienne. So, of course, Travis Etienne or Breece Hall. Breece Hall facing the Buffalo Bills. Travis Etienne facing Cincinnati Bengals defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're both playing piss-poor defenses against the run. I would go Breece Hall and not think about it. I mean, he actually looked good against the Steelers, so it's not necessarily a question for me. ETN looked good too, but I still have questions in that backfield right now. I get he's playing the Bengals, and he's probably going to have a solid week, but I think you have a better upside in Brees Hall.
I was a big fan on Travis Etienne, but one game isn't going to cut it for him to win my love back. So give me Brees Hall. I still do like Brees Hall. He was again a rookie dynasty 101 pick for me, and he looked good. So I'd still go with the better name, better back, and Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Dustin, start Michael Pittman Jr. or Tyrone Tracy in the flex. I think this one's an easy one for me. I'm going to go with Michael Pittman. Daniel Jones liked to throw it to him, and he was getting the targets.
The only thing is they're going up against a tough Broncos defense. I guess I'll go Pittman. But.
Okay. Patrick, this isn't Patrick Mahomes, but Drake May or Bo Nix?
I'm going to go Nix and not even think about it.
Yeah, I'm also going Nix. Don't think about it. If you're questioning on starting a Patriot, don't. Automatically the other side. Wes saying he needs to sit one. This one's a tough one. Cortland Sutton, Lad McConkey, or Emeka Egbuka? That one's a tough one.
That is tough.
Let me tell you, Emeka Egbuka is facing Houston. Lad McConkey is facing the Raiders. And the Cortland Sutton is facing Indianapolis.
So I don't think you can ever sit Lad McConkey. You just can't. And I want to say that I would sit Egbuka, but I think I'm going to sit Sutton. That's kind of crazy to say. That's a great trio of receivers that you have, so it's a good problem to have, I guess. I think three.
Sometimes not a good problem to have, too.
Yeah, maybe not. But I think all three are going to give you good points this week. But if I had to pick two, I think it would be McConkey and Emeka.
I think Lad's a pencil in always.
Yeah, right.
I do think he was an overhyped guy on being drafted, way overhyped.
Yeah.
But again, he does get you the points, so I'm still saying Lad. But Cortland Sutton, I'm going to take the edge over Emeka Egbuka. Egbuka had that one great game week 1. Will he come back and have another one? I think after this week, if he does it again, we know he's going to be a starter until Chris Godwin gets back. But I'm saying Sutton and Lad McConkey.
Yeah. Okay.
Christian, Harold Fannin versus Baltimore or Evan Ingram against Indianapolis?
I actually had to make this same decision myself. I went with Fannin. I mean, I've talked about him already. I think that him and Njoku can coexist. I think people are kind of, scared because they both play the same position, but the Browns do not use Fannin as a tight end. They use him as a wide receiver, so they can coexist. And, I still have high hopes for Ingram, but he didn't show anything in week 1, and he got hurt. So,
yeah, Ingram dealing with an injury again. He is supposed to be healthy and ready to go, but again, I'm also going with Harold Fannin, which is something last year, if you asked me, it would have been crazy to say. Something crazy to say is this question: James Conner or Kayshon Boutte? I think this is being asked. That's
hilarious because I'm obviously going Boutte.
Yeah, right?
No,
you actually
obviously. Obviously.
My goodness, you actually had me. I was actually believing you.
No.
And to close off the show, we will ask the YouTube question by Jay. Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Marion Hampton, Travis Etienne, George Pickens, or Emeka Egbuka. PPR. Gary, take the first one.
First one, I'll go Nix.
Of course you are. Of course.
I'll be honest with you. I actually thought about it, but I'm gonna go Nix.
Well, of course you thought about it, but did you take like 1 second to think about it, 5 seconds to think about it?
Second I saw. Well, if you want me to be honest with you, I had my second and third answer immediately, and I didn't have my.
Yeah, I did too.
So I'm gonna go with Nix.
See, you can take Bo Nix over with Indianapolis, or you got J.J. McCarthy. I mean, taking on Atlanta, I think it's going to be more. I think they're both going to get you good points. Honestly, I think they'll both get you top 10 points. for fantasy, both of them. I am taking the slight edge on JG McCarthy, but that also is because I think I got more belief in him than Gary does. I think Bo Nix looked a little shaky last week, and that's my only concern. And JJ McCarthy, we know, can use his legs as well. So,
in all honesty, I expect McCarthy to have another solid game. It's just I expect both these guys to have good games, and just because JJ McCarthy, I would consider at the moment is still unproven, I'll go with next who has more upside. So,
okay, Amari Hampton and Travis Etienne.
Hampton.
Really, I think I'm also going to go and disagree with you. I'm going to take Travis Etienne.
I'm not.
I think my only concern is JK's there.
JK.
Sorry, not JK. Najee.
I guess, but he really was not involved in the run game last week at all, and they're going up against the Raiders, who are horrible.
Yeah, but
Etienne's going up against the Bengals.
Amarian also only scored 8 points this past week.
Yeah, he did, but week 1.
Give me the upside though. I think Amarian has maybe a little bit more upside, but Etienne, if we see what we're getting from last week to this week, Etienne's a slam dunk on this one. Yeah. Especially because he also has more experience in the leagues. Mm-hmm. Pickens and Emeka Egbuka. Crazy. This is a question because preseason I wouldn't have thought this would be a question, but I'm going Emeka Egbuka.
I also am.
The one thing we're agreeing on. Jay, hopefully you win your league, and hopefully everyone else who asked some questions. But that is going to do it this week's show, or at least this Sunday morning show. Again, we're here twice a week. Every Sunday we are here. Every Monday we are also going to be here. Be on the lookout for the times for those days. But again, if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow us all over social media at SportsTimeHQ. Again, if you're betting on Underdog Fantasy, use that code SportsTimeHQ. They're going to match first deposit up to $1,000. Gary, did you bet on anything this week?
I did, actually. I had Ohio State spread, 2-leg parlay. Ohio State spread, Texas A&M spread, came in. So that's what Underdog can do for you.
Underdog Fantasy, SportsTimeHQ, use that code. They'll match first deposit up to $1,000. And of course, TrophySmack.com/SportsTimeHQ. The more you use that link, the more we can start offering you discounts. So again, TrophySmack.com/SportsTimeHQ. I was joined by my great co-host, Gary. Go follow him all over social media at GDPicks. And I'm Fernando, and I'm your host of SportsTimeHQ. Good luck, everyone, in this week. Week number 2, it's coming at you in just about, 1 hour? Just about.
Give or take.
So, good luck.